Hello there everybody, Sam's Trains here and welcome back to the railway. Today I'm trying some more rolling stock by Bachmann. Up until recently, I had no idea that today's model existed. Yeah, I'd never seen it before until I ordered it not too long ago. And the reason is that the model is exclusive to TMC, or the Model Centre, so I suppose unless you were looking at their specific inventory of rolling stock, you would miss it, as indeed I did. But recently they put it in the sale and it caught my eye and I thought, what? Where did you come from? So I decided to buy one and see what it's like. So today's model is this. It is made by Bachmann and it is the ZDO plate wagon, or bolster wagon if you like. And in real life this particular example was built in the early 1950s at Shildon for British Railways, but others were built earlier for the grouping companies such as the LNER or the LMS. But this one's a little bit later than that. So like I say, exclusive to TMC, the full price for these is £44.95. Why? But as you can see, they've now got this in the sale at 50% off. And according to my invoice, I paid even less than that. But either way, it's a significantly lower price now. Well, I wouldn't be buying one of these for nearly £50, that's for damn sure, but for less than 20, yeah, go on, I'll give it a try. So what's this like? Is it truly a £45 model? Is it worth the money at that price? Or is this really a £20 model? It will be interesting, won't it? It's obviously quite simple in that there's not a lot of body to it, so what features has this got that would justify that massively high full price? It's quite exciting really. But anyway, let's find out and let's get started. So yeah, can't believe I'd never seen this thing before. I've found posts of people talking about having seen samples of these as far back as 2016. So this thing was tooled up around 8 years ago, and yet it completely escaped my notice. But nothing escapes Sam's Trains forever. Today we're going to see what this is like. Let me show you the end of the box then. So the version I've got is 38-850Z. It is, oh, blimey, it's quite a description. It's a 22-ton ZDO plate wagon in the BR grey with black panels, produced exclusively for the Model Centre, or TMC. And that is indeed where I got this from, in that sale that I mentioned. Okay, not had this out of the box yet, so let's change that. Let's see what this is like. Quite an interesting sort of profile to this, I suppose, because of course it's got a very large wheelbase and an even larger hopper, if you want to call it that. It's not really a hopper, but you know what I mean. Deck, if you like. Right, no accessories. Oh, I take it back. No, I just spotted some. Let's see what we get in the little bag then, which is awkwardly taped up here. Okay, oh, that's weird. Okay. Right, so what have we got in here? This is pretty good. So we've got actual chains that we can put presumably on the coupling hooks, and then we've got some pipes that you can fit presumably around the buffer beams. No instructions or anything with this, so it's not entirely clear where those go, but I'm sure it will become so when I get this out. But anyway, let's take our first look at the sort of fit and finish of it all. Here we go. Alright, so we've got an interesting planking effect on the inside, as you can see, which has been picked out in the brown. Yeah, it's quite an intriguing little wagon really, isn't it? Very short, but very long. Okay, let's lift it up. All right, yeah. So I suppose to say it's not really got much body to it. There is a fair amount of weight here, although it's not dreadfully heavy. I think it is plastic though, turning it upside down. Yeah, the underframe I think is all plastic, and the body certainly is as well. But yeah, there must be some sort of weight baked into this because it's certainly not light, I would say. But yeah, it's very, very interesting. It's not like any of the other wagons that I've got, so quite interested to have a closer look at this and also get it on the track, of course, and see how it runs. But first, let's take a much closer look, see what this has got to offer, see if we can figure out why the full price was so high for this. So there it is, up close and personal for you, and hopefully you can tell just how well this has been done. Yeah, honestly, this was an absolute steal. As for the full price though, about £45, Yeah, I just don't get that. How is this worth that? I don't know whether this actually did cost £45 from TMC at one point, or whether they just said that was the full price to make the actual price look a bit more reasonable. But either way, I've seen wagons that are worth £45, and this is not one of them. I mean, for instance, the new Rapido Lomac was way cheaper than this, even at the full price. And that was subject to all of the post-COVID inflation, and yet that was largely made of metal, much heavier than this ZDO. It even came with a load, which the ZDO obviously doesn't, and it had more features such as sprung buffers and such. So yeah, spoiler, this wagon does not have sprung buffers, but with the full price being as excessive as it is, I personally wouldn't want to see any features missing. But like I say, this has been done really, really well, and for the price I paid, I'm really pleased with it. So let's start by taking a look at the decoration, which is actually pretty complex. So we've got the brown planking on the inside, which is not a separate part, so somehow they've had to mask that off and paint that on. Not sure how they've done that actually, but it's very good and clean. On the side of the body, we've got several different printed areas. As you can see, these are done really nice and crisply, as is usual from Bachmann. And also the buffer beams are part of the body moulding, so the black of the buffer beams has had to be painted separately. And as you can see, that is done very convincingly. You almost can't tell. We've got the builder's plate down on the chassis, which is not a separate part, that is just printed on, but it's a good quality print. And there's a bit more printing on the chassis, as you can see. Let's take a look at the detail then. So here's a look at the axle boxes and the springs and such. Yeah, great moulding on this. To say this is, you know, closest now to 10 years old than it is 5, the moulding is as good as you'd see on a 2024 model, I think. The chassis also has these tiny little hooks, loads of them on each side, which are separately fitted. Why did they do that? I mean, it's very, very impressive. But I'm not convinced it adds anything to the model. I mean, can you even tell that they're there from back here? No, that's quite a shock though, isn't it? Tiny little separate parts, possibly some of the smallest ever that I've seen. Realistically though, I reckon they could have been moulded on. And looking underneath, you can see we've got all the support structure, we've got the planking, and even the bottom of the wagon body also has planking on it as well. So it is very detailed from all different angles. And the brake rigging is quite complex as well. As you can see, it's fully modelled here. We've got the fully detailed brake shoes here, all the cams and levers and such. Yeah, it looks really, really good. Here's a look at the buffer beams, which do have the coupling hooks pre-fitted and also a pipe on each end. Like I've already said, the buffers are not sprung, but they are made of metal, which looks good. One really unfortunate thing about this model is the couplings. Yeah, they just look bad, don't they? I mean, it's an unfortunate model to make in that the area where the NEM pocket has to go is completely open on the chassis. So they're incredibly conspicuous. And obviously, there's nothing they could do about this, but it just doesn't look the best, does it? Pretty noticeable and distracting. But the couplings themselves are kinematic, which of course they really need to be with something as long as this, which means they should stay nice and close together, even around curves. And yeah, we'll test the couplings in a little while. The body then is very impressive. I mean, again, the moulding here is outstanding. So all the rivets look great. We've got the sort of latches on the tops of the doors with the little bits of chain, and in the middle here, again, lots and lots of detail here. Very, very impressive that this is all part of the moulding. Finally then, construction. Yeah, I think there is a metal weight inside here maybe, but it is fairly light overall. So it weighs in at 35 grams, and I've really not got an awful lot to compare this with, but the closest thing I think would be the Laureate wagon. This is the Hornby one, which is almost entirely made of metal, whereas the ZDO is plastic, and the Laureate Y is more than 20 grams heavier. So you don't get a lot for your money here at the full price, really. It is a great looking wagon, but it's pretty average in terms of quality, with it being mostly plastic, and it doesn't have your flashy features like sprung buffers. Otherwise though, it will do the job absolutely perfectly. That's assuming, of course, it runs properly. So let's get it onto the track. Let's find out how free rolling it is. Let's test the couplings, and let's see how it behaves as part of a train. So here is today's test setup. I've chosen the Standard Class 2 as today's loco, since the wagon was built in 1951, so it could have been hauled by a loco like this. I've set up a whole load of other flat type wagons, just to make the train up a little bit. And then here is today's ZDO. The first thing I want to talk about is how free rolling this is, and you might have noticed in the previous shots, again, it's one of those wagons that I've had real trouble keeping still, at least on the straight. What you find with larger wheelbase wagons like this is on curves, particularly tighter curves, the flanges dig in and kind of act a bit like brakes. Nothing can be done about that, of course, it's just the way they are. So on the free rolling test, as you can see, it's very, very free rolling, absolutely bombs it down Gordon's Hill until, of course, it reaches the curves, and that's really what slows this down. And as you can see, it stops on a curve there. So very, very free rolling, but due to the sort of length of the wheelbase, there will be more resistance in this wagon than there will be in others. That's just the way it is. Anyway, let's test those kinematic couplings, which do return to the centre very, very nicely. So with that, let's back up the Class 2. That looks like a perfect coupling. Yeah, it is. Back to the Hornby Laureate then. Is that in shot? Not quite. Hang on then. Let me move you. Now I can see what's going to happen with that. But we'll try and get away with it. No. Right, that's not the Bachmann wagon's fault. I forgot Hornby are incompetent. You know, for some reason, they decided not to spring the coupling on their very, very expensive Laureate Y. So it just lolls to the left and right, so you cannot couple with it unless you intervene and straighten it manually. How ridiculous is that? So, you know, I've said that this Bachmann wagon's not the greatest value, it shouldn't cost that much. Well, at least it kind of works, you know. There is that going for it. And I think the Hornby Laureate is a special example. They're not normally that silly. But, yeah, it's embarrassing. I just don't even know what to say about it. It's unbelievable. But yeah, ZDO coupling perfectly. So with that, I think we'll send it over the points first today. Yeah, so let me pull it forward. Okay, open up the points. Of course, if anything else derails, we're not really focusing on that. Just focusing on the ZDO. Yep. Seems fine. My nasty point hasn't fouled anything for ages, has it? That's a dangerous thing to say halfway through a points test, but I'm going to say it. Yeah, everything recently, I think, has been fine, hasn't it? Right, let's go a bit faster. And then I'll try again at high speed to see if I can tempt fate. But yeah, ZDO, absolutely fine. Come on, let's see what fails first. That's full speed for the Class 2. Very, very sluggish when I put it on the track today. Not run it for a while, so... Yes, not great, but that's amazing. Everything's staying on, I think. Heard some dodgy noises, but everything's fine. Perfect. So everything passed there, didn't it? Everything with flying colours. Okay, off we go then. Let's see how it gets on around the track. Here we go. Right, here we go then. I've put it at the back of the train for some reason, so we've got to wait. Class 2 slowing down dramatically, but that's what it does. Here comes today's wagon, second radius. Not expecting any issues here. Yeah, very, very smooth and lightly sprung kinematics on this one. So, as expected, no issues whatsoever around the curves there. So yeah, it's great. It is fully functional. So as much as it is too expensive at the full price, you can't fault the way it looks and the way it runs. I think that's definitely fair to say. And at the heavily reduced price, it is worth every penny. You know, I don't think it's £16 now. When I checked, it was 20 something, but even so, well worth it at that price. And really, my main criticism of this is the lack of features given the high price. But if you can get this at the reduced price, then that doesn't really ring true, does it? So actually, there's no reason why I would not recommend this to you at the reduced price, because everything else is spot on, including the quality. It's a Bachmann model, that's not much of a surprise. Build quality is usually absolutely superb from Bachmann, and as much as this is mainly made of plastic, the way that it's been built, the way that it's been painted, as far as I could see, and comment down below if you saw any different, nothing wrong with it, absolutely spotless. So very impressive, and with that, let's have some ratings. And as you can see, yeah, the score's looking pretty good here. Level of detail, I've given a very respectable 4-star, yeah, there's actually quite a lot going on here for what appears to be a relatively simple model. Great underframe detail, loads of brake rigging, separately fitted details across the chassis, lots of detail in the paintwork as well, which is all very crisp and well done. Yeah, it's excellent. The only reason it doesn't get 5-star is because it doesn't have sprung buffers. Now, I know some people don't care about sprung buffers, so if you're one of those people, you can discount that point. I personally enjoy seeing sprung buffers, and it's my review, so I will knock it down a little bit for that. The other thing is the couplings. Obviously, this is not a meaningful criticism because there's not a lot they could have done about it, but they do take away a bit from the realism of the model. Otherwise though, fantastic, and to see those 3-link couplings provided in the accessories bag was really good to see. Performance though, I don't think there's any compromises here whatsoever. It's really good and free rolling, even for a large wheelbase wagon like this. Perfect couplings, good kinematics on this, no sticking, no uncoupling at random, no issues whatsoever. Perfect over curves and points, no matter how tight. 5-star performance. Quality then is a 4-star for me. The build quality is fantastic. Actually, those tiny little parts along the chassis, all of those were straight, no visible glue, to the point where it took me a while to even notice they were separately fitted, so that's a good sign. Elsewhere on the model also, no glue, no hiccups, no issues whatsoever. The only thing is the plasticky construction does feel a little bit light compared with other models with an RRP of £45, which do tend to have a fair bit more metal construction on board. So 4-star, but still very, very good quality. Value for money then, well, the full price in my opinion is too high for this, £44.95. Yeah, it's not quite outstanding enough to justify that, so I'd give it 2-star. And out of interest, I've just checked what the current price is, and it's £22.48. Still a 5-star, I think. And if you're interested in one of these, they are available right now at that price. I'll include an affiliate link down below for you. So I've split the difference between 2 and 5, I've given it 3.5. Decent value if you get it in the sale, but if the prices do return back to normal, that's probably not something I would recommend. Overall then, that is 7.90 out of 10, or a grade of B. Yeah, if it had a couple more features, perhaps sprung buffers, a bit more metal on board, this would have been deserving of a much higher grade, but as it is perfectly fine. Into the logbook it goes then, and it's second place just below Hornby's Coronation Observation Coach. Yeah, very impressive. If you want one of these, I could recommend this. So there you have it then folks, that was my review of Bachmann's ZDO wagon, produced exclusively for TMC, a wagon that I never knew existed until recently. And that begs the question, what else have I missed? Is there anything else that I've never reviewed and you think, why has he never done that? Comment down below with your suggestions, and if there is anything I've missed or that I've not heard of, I might pick it up and do a review. But for now, that will do for this. Really enjoy this, you know, just to put it on the track, have it couple right, not derail on the points, not cripple itself on the curves. Just something that works is really, really nice to see. So for that, yeah, it's really, really good. All right, folks, hopefully you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. All right, cheers, folks. You take care.